Spoiler warning! The legendary John Wick franchise has brought together gamers and avid movie watchers alike to see the set of skills Keanu Reeves is set to perform. Although the journey to get here was fun, John Wick does not have his Disney fairy tale happy ending because of his gruesome past. And here's the gist.
3, 2,
1.
The John Wick franchise is iconic for its thrilling martial arts fights, but it only has just begun. With the upcoming John Wick Chapter 4 2023 is about to become a better year already. The bounty for his head has become higher, and the deadliest of assassins are coming for their reward. Keanu Reeves comes back as John Wick once more as the deadliest assassin and hitman. But with his extremely deadly set of skills, the High Table wants his head off that body before he becomes an even more threat. The highly anticipated movie was previously set to be released in May of 2021, but because of COVID-19 restrictions and Keanu Reeves' prior engagements with The Matrix Resurrections, it's been delayed until next year. Reeves has also revealed that he'd be open to filming more sequels for the John Wick franchise as long as viewers still want them, and according to Chad Stahelski, he would continue making the films with the same views as Keanu.
We are less than even.
Right before the fourth movie was confirmed, he told GQ, "As far as my legs can take me, as far as the audience wants to go." After Slay Hatton wrote the script way back in May 2020, Stahelski already teased Winston's fate to be an open interpretation for fans. Is he dead? Alive? It's all up to how you'd see it. Not only that, the Lionsgate CEO John Feldheimer had already stated that a John Wick Chapter 5 will be in the making sometime later next year in 2023, probably months after the release of Chapter 4. Considering the amount of support the upcoming John Wick sequel has been getting, success is basically obvious already. Many have also shared their sentiments about how strong the chemistry the casts have in the movie. Stahelski already shared in public after Chapter 3 that he would be open to casting new actors after extensive training. And that's exactly what happened to the Japanese-British singer-songwriter Rina Sawayama, who was scouted after being seen in her music video Essex and Bad Friend. Rina was able to show off her acting, fighting, and dancing, and amazingly enough, she was cast in John Wick Chapter 4 for her debut film. The casting choices are already enough to blow my mind, especially when I find out that the big names were added to the film. In June 2021, it was confirmed that Lawrence Fishburne, Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, Shamir Anderson, Clancy Brown, and Hiroyuki Sanada were all cast in the film. The first John Wick movie's production budget was $30 million, but the next two movies were both at $40 million, which leads me to believe that the Chapter 4's movie budget is around to be between $40 million to $50 million US.
Who's gonna know the difference?
You sure this is what you want to do?
40 million, it's a lot of money.
Not if you can't spend it.
Honestly, if my estimate is right, they definitely need a whole lot of appreciation for pulling it off, considering they have big-name actors in the cast, and they had to fly their crew to Berlin and Paris in June 2021, then flew again to film extra scenes in high-maintenance, first-world countries like Japan and New York City to smash the like button. According to different sources, John Wick Chapter 4 will be available to stream on Netflix. Although it remains exciting, Stahelski shot down any possibility of a happy ending for John Wick. Although John's skills remain undefeated by even the world's strongest and deadliest assassins, it wouldn't be very realistic for the filmmakers to give him a happy sunrise ending. As per director Stahelski's words, John doesn't have a life to come back to. He's not an accountant that comes back to work after all the nasty things he had to go through. He has killed hundreds of people, and falling in love with a love interest is very unlikely for the life he's lived. Lawrence Fishburne is set to play the role of the Bowery King, who's now Wick's alliance. But remember, in the real world, only the rarest alliances are strong enough to withhold in front of threats like John Wick. At the end of the third movie, we see John Wick and the Bowery King form their bond to fight against the High Table. Fans were excited for the two because they finally now had the real chance at winning. Ian McShane, who plays to play the role of Winston, was teased about having shot by our title character. Whether he lived or died after that is still a mystery. We have to wait until next year, although the audience has accused him of betrayal. Winston's actions in Chapter 3 might not be as simple as we thought it was. When you think about it, he could have shot John straight in the head if he wanted to. There have been several theories that suggest Winston could actually be John Wick's father-in-law after all.
You hand me your ticket, I will tear it. If that's what you really desire.
Considering Winston is the only one that calls him on a first-name basis, and he seems very interested, not to mention concerned, in John Wick's life outside of the business, leads the audience to think it could possibly be not just a rumor after all. Whatever the truth may be, John Wick Chapter 4 will reveal all the questions in our heads. As I've mentioned, new actors have been added to the movie, and to what I predict will be a crowd favorite is Donnie Yen's character. The Chinese martial artist will play to have a very intimate secret history with John Wick, which leads me to believe he's another deadly assassin in the movie. Many of their mutual enemies will once again show in the movie. The voice of Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob teased the public that Bill Skarsgård, or famous known as It movie's Pennywise, and the newly cast Clancy Brown will have a lot of scenes together as they soar high in their seats at the high table.
Gentlemen, this institution is now deconsecrated. Business may now be conducted on continental grounds.
Based on both actors' previous movies, their famous sneers and facial expressions could let audiences jump off their toes with just a glance. But not to worry, the kids won't be having all the fun because even Hiroyuki Sanada will have his own misadventure. His previous movies right before this one, like The Wolverine and Army of the Dead, all had fighting scenes he participated in. Maybe John Wick Chapter 4. We'll see Hiroyuki Sanada in action too. The last John Wick movie was released way back in 2019, and with the sequel being released 4 years later, fans are a bit impatient too. That's why John Wick movies 4 and 5 were planned to be shot back to back, so the world won't have to wait too long to see another one of Keanu Reeves' masterpieces. However, Lionsgate actually rejected the plan because it was too costly, and the fourth movie might not be as profitable as expected. Though directors Stahelski and Keanu Reeves are open to creating more sequels in the future, the possibility of chapters 5, 6, 7, etc. isn't a 100% sure thing.
We are high table.
And we are New York City.
However, John Wick's adventure to hunt down and form allegiance to the strongest underworld fighters might not be as easy as he expected it to be, but with a high table global hot on his tail for years now, it's the only chance he's got left. Overall, director Chad Stahelski did tease that John Wick Chapter 4 will focus on. The storyline will be about the infamous and secret assassin underground and the mythology of the Continental. With all the threats and pressure to keep himself alive, John Wick has to uncover deep secrets and find specific strategies to catch intellectual enemies like the High Table and several assassins off guard. The John we know knows how to steer away from death but never the actual war, and to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. But jokes aside, how do you think it'll end? In the life journey of John Wick, all we can be sure of is he's harder to kill than a cockroach. But we know the High Table won't back down that easily. Prepare for John Wick Chapter 4 to blow your mind. See you in the next video.